Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see, today I wanted to take you along for me to be doing Uber Eats. I've actually been doing Uber Eats for a little longer, and I picked it up because DoorDash I prefer sometimes over, but it's not consistent. So I want to have two apps going at the same time just in case. Let's say for DoorDash is a little slow, I would grab, orders from Uber Eats. And Uber Eats has been a little more consistent of having orders, not as high paying as DoorDash, but something in between, just like there. So I hope you enjoy this. If you have any questions, Uber Eats was pretty much easy to sign up. I do notice that there is a little, I think, a wait time, not that long. I think mine was like a week, and it's pretty much quick. And then pretty much you do have to just the same procedures as DoorDash. You have to like upload your ID. You do have to provide insurance compared to like your car insurance, unlike DoorDash. And then sometimes when you're actually logging into the app, you have to take a picture. So that is something interesting. I actually have an order at McDonald's, and it's not too far. It's like less than a 2-mile drive. So I'm going to take you along with me. Take care. All right, got my first order for McDonald's. So with McDonald's, a lot of times they'll put it either on the counter or they have a little area. McDonald's I picked up from is a little smaller. So pretty much you have to get it from the counter. They've been actually pretty consistent about it. And the delivery is like less than 0.5 miles, so, and it's paying like $10, which is great. So yep, first order gonna be about done. All right, got my first order done. So with Uber Eats, they usually just pay you about $2 your base pay, to sometimes a little higher, and then your tip will come in a little later, so keep that in mind. Unlike DoorDash, you get everything at once. And then with Uber Eats also is, if you get the exact amount of what it's offering, that means an indication that there was no tip, so you'll know right away if there was no tip. So your tip does come a little later, but yeah, it's not that bad. It's a good, I like using it as another incentive. I was trying to get Grubhub as well to potentially, have 3 delivery apps to be going all at once, but Grubhub actually has a wait. But I've been enjoying Uber Eats. It has different levels, so like you earn certain points and you get unlocked to like a different level. I think you start as green, and then you go to gold, and then you go to platinum. Platinum, you have to like get 300 deliveries. So each delivery you get certain points, sometimes 1, 2, or 3. I think it depends on how much you're delivering or distance. I've been able to maintain my gold status, and there's like extra perks, like you could go to like 7-Eleven, get discounts and stuff like that along the way. But first order done. I think this area is not as busy. It was kind of busy on the weekend, so I'm maybe going to move to a different area as well to try to pick up some orders. I'm not going to be doing DoorDash. I'm going to completely be doing Uber Eats, so stick around. All right, y'all, got my second order, and it's again through McDonald's because there's like the only really fast food restaurant area, I guess, of there. There's a couple other restaurants, but this one's like $4.67 for about 2 miles. I still try to maintain exactly what I do in DoorDash of 1 mile per dollar, so if that's about $2 in there, so not bad. I was hoping a little more, but for just be on the road already and all that, it's good. So here we go, second order. All right, I think with that one, so I was able to deliver it, so I'll be at like close to $15, like 14, a little over 14. And then that one was actually interesting because I've kind of noticed I've had the problem with Uber Eats is it tried to take me a path that was like in the forest, and this has happened multiple times. I think it's either happened none or one time with DoorDash, because DoorDash uses Google Maps. So what I had to do with Uber Eats is I had to multiple times have to put it in my maps on my iPhone, and it has taken me to the right direction. So always keep that in mind. Or just call the customer, because the customers have told me too at times, like, yeah, I don't know why it's doing that to you, why it's like sending you into there. I would just put it into the address of your actual apps and stuff. So I've had to do that 3 or 4 times with Uber Eats. So not bad, but it like goes, really, why am I doing it? But so that's 2 orders. I'm gonna go to a busy area. I'm gonna meet my friend so later today, so I might as well take orders going there. So we'll keep track. So 2 orders done so far, y'all. All right, so pretty much I got it. It's a teriyaki dish. Did not want to show. Actually, it's a place I want to try. It looks really good, and it's not too far. It's a little further than I like compared to what I've been doing. It's about 2.5 miles away, and pretty much it is. Ooh, that's ripping. but it's about 2.5 miles. It's paying a little over $5, so still double the mileage. So keep that in mind as you may want to know. There's a little slow period. A lot of the orders I was getting wanted me to go up north, go a little bit south, or there. And I've been trying to stick around the area or go to the area I'm going to be going to. So this order will be delivered. It actually popped up another one. Uber Eats is kind of interesting, just like DoorDash. It adds orders in case it's around the area, but this one didn't make sense. Like I would pick up in the food place, but take me like another 10 miles. It was just paying like an additional $3. Not 10 miles, I'm maybe over exaggerating, but it wasn't worth it to attach. So I'll deliver this one and see another order. All right, got my next order. I'm actually around the Alderwood Mall in Washington, so it's a little busy here. I didn't realize it's inside the mall, so yeah, the distance isn't too bad. It's again about double the price, so it's like a little over $5, and it's $2.50, only 2.5 miles. But the thing is, you also have to understand this adds so much unnecessary items of like having to park and all that. And they're also getting ready for the holidays, so which makes sense of like trying to close things down. So it's going to be interesting. I will maybe park a little further so I can try exit and try to find a way to get out of here quicker than later. So because I would feel like, why is it so early? Like it's only the second week of December. I feel like people get off the last 2 weeks of December, and I don't understand why it's this early. So I am gonna maybe park a little far. I'll have to walk a little bit, but we'll get the order, and hopefully I'm supposed to meet my friend, but he said he might be a little late as well. So let's do this and try to get there quick and don't pick up any orders in the mall again. All right, so did about $25 on that, which isn't too bad. Not 25, about a little over 5. So with everything, it'll be about a little over 25, which isn't, you know, a crazy amount, but for about 4 orders, not bad at all. But yes, so that is something also I noticed is someone did tell me this area will be really good because of the pickup and stuff, but I don't know, like try and park in the mall area. I know they have designated parking for like delivery drivers, but maybe I just haven't worked the area enough. But it seems like it wouldn't be that appealing to me. But I don't know why I'm saying but so much. It just wouldn't be appealing to me, it feels like. Another thing about Uber Eats that I've noticed is I think it's like dots on the map, actually, on their app compared to DoorDash. Again, this video's not saying DoorDash is way better than Uber Eats. I just am pointing out differentials that I noticed. And with DoorDash, they actually have the icons like, hey, if you watch my other video about DoorDashing, it is like there's like a suitcase, almost building looking one. That's where the business is. And then the homes. Uber Eats, I think they're just dots, like where you're supposed to pick up, which is not bad. And then like when you're like deciding if you want to pick up the order or not, you just have to compare the dots. And I also noticed with DoorDash, what I appreciate is when you're like driving, again, maybe because this is like using Google Maps, is the stop signs are shown like, oh, you're like, especially if you're driving a decent amount, like a decent speed, it shows, hey, this is where a stop sign is. Wow, Uber Eats doesn't show that. So that's another good thing that I really like, because I do really pay attention to my GPS a lot and my maps of where it's taking me around. So that is very important to me. But that's 4 orders. I'm about to go meet up with my friend, so I'll see if I'm going to do any more orders. If not, because it gets really late and I don't really like driving when it's that late. Sometimes it's just harder for me to find the home sometimes along those lines. It's sometimes hard for me to find even broad daylight, so you know, it doesn't make sense for it to be dark. But overall, Uber Eats, what I really like is it seems like orders do come in more consistently with DoorDash. It seems there are less drivers in Uber Eats. I could be wrong about that. It seems a lot of people have gone to DoorDash, and I think it's just it's the requirements. With DoorDash, you don't have to put your car insurance in. Maybe that's a frown upon thing that discourages drivers from being part of it. So that is something that I have noticed on there, that there are more drivers. In DoorDash, it's a lot. Uber Eats is consistent with drivers, and I think if you pick a good area, right? And also when you're accepting orders, you can decline a lot on Uber Eats. And I don't know, I can't prove it. I don't think it affects what kind of orders you're gonna get. DoorDash, it does, because they have the acceptance rate. It does say on Uber Eats, like, hey, you're accepting a lower amount of orders compared to the people, like the area that's normal. But I don't know if that actually affects what kind of orders you get. I think it's just who's available at the time, you keeping your 100% rating of approval. I don't know. I've been still getting good orders. DoorDash, I have noticed if your percentage goes really down, then it's going to affect your orders. It's going to affect what kind of orders you're getting. And along those lines, you can't dash now, you have to schedule, and the hours like fill up really quickly. So that's why, like with Uber Eats, you don't really schedule, but I haven't seen much promos either, which is kind of sad. It's popped up once in a while saying like, if you do this promo now, you'll get like $1 more, or drive during these peak hours, maybe. But overall, Uber Eats is like reliable for me, because in between I can put it on and not worry about rejecting orders, compared to DoorDash, where my percent can go down and affect my orders what I'm getting. Again, I don't know enough, but overall I am still enjoying it. Uber Eats is, like I said, just something to have along the lines with DoorDash, but a good side hustle so far. And I will show you more orders if I do. I don't know if you all want me to start doing more where I'm actually walking up to like locations and trying like the places, like hey, this is where I'm picking up. The last order I got was from Emerald City, which is a smoothie place. So that is my last order I've gotten so far from them. So gonna meet up with my friend, just gonna park and wait. But yeah, so that is where I am right now. I'm in Bothell. Yeah, no, that is where I am right now, of Linwood area, Alderwood area mall. Waiting for order to get, and before I head up north, and we'll see what happens. So the weather is currently raining. I've done it a couple times where I Uber Eats, where it's raining, the weather's not the best. But a lot of times I've done it where I started both DoorDash and Uber Eats around the summertime toward the fall, so the weather wasn't that terrible. I've done it a couple times and it's kind of mixed bag. Some people do order a lot during this time and letting the weather, get to that point. But we'll see how it goes. I do want to kind of pick up an order before heading home so I can go in that direction, but there hasn't been anything. We'll see. All right, so got picked up. It did take a little while. It was a 15 minutes, so they had to cook the chicken. So that really comes down. Uber Eats is, I have never decided to leave an order. I tried to stay patient, but it does have happened. Shout out to the gentleman. This is the gyro place located in the Alderwood Mall. I think it's the only one. But gave me a free Coke, offered me Coke or water, and he just said, he appreciates the patience and everything. And I think that's what they understand. Like a lot of times you can just leave, or I've heard it from Uber Eats. Other people say, oh yeah, this Uber Eats person didn't want to wait. I try to, I communicate with the customer who, I guess the last one didn't want to because the Frosty and Wendy's wasn't ready yet. I just called the customer and said, hey, do you want to just do a refund so I can still pick up the food? I think it's just that communication, that patience. I've been, that person who has a little, sometimes let their feelings get the better of them. But I've been starting to learn is with this, side gig, is you need to really side hustle, you really need to understand patience. I understand we're doing a service for the customer and also for the restaurant, but also the restaurants are paying a lot of money too. It's cutting into their profits when they have to do the delivery. Yes, it adds another service that they can provide to their customers, but it's cutting into their profits because these DoorDash and Uber Eats does demand a lot of money, a fee from them. So try to stay patient and good things will happen. But yeah, we're about to go deliver this. It's about 3 miles. It's about paying about a little over 7. So again, double the money. So, and it'll bring me up closer to home. So hopefully we can get there sooner than later. Thank you. All right, so the last order was kind of a little difficult to find. The reason being there's only one sign on the apartment of what building name it was. And it was on one corner. So it was difficult to find. And then when I actually got there, the door where I was supposed to deliver had a wreath, so I didn't know that was the actual number, the apartment number that I was delivering to. So I went to the other side. It took a little longer than I think it was to be necessary, but that is something, especially when you're delivering at nighttime, is it's difficult. If you're not really good with it, I would suggest to either DoorDash or Uber Eats or Grubhub earlier in the day, but that's up to you. So that pushed me a little over $30. I have another pickup and it's gonna bring me closer to the north, so I'm very excited. Let's get this. All right, got the next pickup. It's from a Philly cheese place, which is located on Highway 99. Place is pretty good. I've tried it actually. Very good servings, and the food is very filling. But yes, it's a little, I didn't look at distance, but I'm not too worried. It is going up toward where I need to go, and pretty much it is, what is it called? Over $10, I think 10 or 11. So this would push us over 40, which would be great. So stay tuned. All right, also, I did drop that order off and it was actually easy. Again, the signs were kind of hard, but if you look at the maps closely, it'll position where you are. So I was able to drop that. Not too difficult. And now I'm at another order. This should bump me close to 50 a little bit, maybe short, a couple. But it's from a place called Shared Tea. I actually have a video, I just haven't posted it. Maybe I'll post it this month. But it's a really good bubble tea place. There's different, there's multiple locations here in Washington. So if one's near you, I would definitely try it. But it's one of those locations that does have like powder tea and stuff. But there was a couple orders while I was driving that popped up, but I didn't want to go in that direction. So that's something you can see. Uber Eats compared to DoorDash will not, unless DoorDash combines those orders. Uber Eats will keep giving you orders. So as soon as you're done with the next one, you can pick up the one right after. So keep that in mind. So if one does pop up and you say, hey, I want this one, you'll pick it up. And as soon as you deliver the one you're currently on, then it'll jump you to the next one. All right, let's go grab this. All right, so pretty much I did the last order, which was the Share Tea delivery. And I didn't have anything else, so I just did a DoorDash one instead. But that brought me a little over $50. So with everything, I believe, so people measure it in a different way of how. I measure it with activity time. Others, even non-activity, let's say from 8 to 12, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and you're really only active for an hour and a half, they still count that as 4 hours because you're waiting for orders and all that. I only count as active. I believe I was active for potentially 2 or 3 hours. So that breaks down to like $25 to $20 an hour. $20 to $25 an hour. It's up to you all. There are days when you do really good and the pay is high, but I've been fluctuating between 20 to 25 per usually. Of course, this doesn't take account to gas and all that. I believe Uber Eats is good, and it's good filler in when orders are not coming in as much as DoorDash or location, or if I don't really want my acceptance rates on DoorDash to be affected that much. But there are a lot of, like I mentioned earlier in the video, of grayed out in DoorDash, so there's really nowhere for you to really be able to dash now unless you're a top dasher. Thus, you have to either schedule or just wait until that pops up. Uber Eats, I feel, is a good way for you to just at least get orders in between or make that the main focus for the day. As always, if you have any questions, let me know, comment below. Please subscribe to my channel. Of course, like this video to help it spread. As always, take care. God bless. Go Thorough Prince. Let's go.